Well, the federal government is suing Texas over a state law from 2001 that lets some undocumented students pay in-state tuition at public colleges and universities.
U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi says the law conflicts with President Trump's executive orders. Texas was the first state to allow Dreamers to get in-state tuition if they meet certain residency requirements. Now, 24 other states have similar policies.
And there were several bills filed during the recent legislative session to change that rule, but none of them made it to the governor's.
Until today, they found a loophole. Follow me, please. On Wednesday, U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced that the Trump administration has filed a lawsuit against the Texas Dream Act, which extends to in-state tuition to undocumented young Texans. The lawsuit was filed in Wichita Falls, which meant it will be heard by District Court Judge Reed O'Connor, who was active in the Federalist Society and previously ruled the Affordable Care Act was unconstitutional. O'Connor determined the Texas law is unconstitutional, and Texas agreed to consent to the judgment, which means they will not attempt a legal challenge to the ruling. Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, who was also challenging John Cornyn in the U.S. Senate seat, called the ruling a major victory for Texas. The Texas Dream Act was passed in 2001, signed by then Governor Rick Perry, is the oldest enshrined Dream Act in the nation. The legislative session was there an attempt to repeal the law filed by both the Senate and the House. It died in both committees because it backfired. The law was originally put into effect to attract Latino voters in the state of Texas, a growing population that was growing bigger than anyone else. But now that they got what they wanted, they attracted the young Latino voters to help keep Texas going back blue in terms of Ann Richards. They don't need them. So with the U.S. government supposedly coming in to make a save, as the House and the Senate could not seem to pass the bill because they'll be voted out of their seats by their constituents, Texas is not going to fight the ruling. The bill, which originally gave more funding and money to the HSIs developing all over the state, the 64 of them, by the way, gave more percentage of money to those schools than the HBCUs in the state of Texas. Ensured that they grew. Schools go from 900 to 35,000 people in a little under 20 years. But now, the government came for the save. I have a little bit of a speech impediment. I'm gonna let somebody a little more articulate speak for me. Mr. Martin, please. I'm out.
You heard Governor Rick Perry's answer when it came to illegal immigrants. It was the right answer. It was the correct answer. And I'm surprised all those Tea Party people forgot that Ronald Reagan signed a bill allowing 3 million illegal immigrants in terms of amnesty. And so they tend to forget conservative history. Smart move to attract Latino voters.
Wade in the water, wade in the water, children, wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. See that band?